You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 14th of October. Indian lawmaker slams Pakistan at UN over cross-border terrorism and child rights abuses. Trump praises PM Modi as very good friend at Gaza summit in Egypt. And Pakistan's Defence Minister says no ties with Kabul following recent clash. And now for all the details. India on Monday slammed Pakistan at the United Nations General Assembly for cross-border terrorism and its grave violations of child rights. Speaking on the agenda for the promotion and protection of child rights, Nishikant Dubey, a lawmaker from India's ruling BJP, said that Pakistan remains among the most serious violators of the global child protection agenda. Dubey referred to the April 22 terrorist attack in Pahalgam and said the international community has not forgotten the brutal, targeted attacks carried out by Pakistan-trained terrorists. He added that in May 2025, India launched Operation Sindoor, a series of strikes on 9 terrorist hideouts across Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Speaking on promotion and protection of child rights, Dubey reaffirmed India's commitment to child welfare, highlighting initiatives such as Child Helpline 1098, which provides emergency assistance to children, and steps taken to counter child trafficking.
In a measured and non-escalatory response, India's exercised its legitimate right to defend its people against terrorism and bring its organizers, the perpetrators, to justice, and the conducted targeted strikes in May 2025 under Operation Sindoor against 9 terrorist hubs. In contrast, Pakistan deliberately targeted our borders, villages, resulting in civilian deaths, including children. Pakistan must look itself in the mirror, stop preaching sermons in this form, act to protect children within its own borders, and stop targeting women and children across its borders.
US President Donald Trump on Monday praised India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying India is a great country with a good friend of mine at the top. After signing the historic Gaza Peace Deal, ending the Israel-Hamas war, President Trump, addressing a summit of world leaders in Egypt, said that he thinks India and Pakistan will live very nicely together. Trump has been claiming to resolve 7 conflicts till now, including the one between India and Pakistan. However, India and Pakistan reached an understanding on May 10 to end the conflict after 4 days of intense cross-border drone and missile strikes. India launched Operation Sindoor on May 7, targeting terror infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir in retaliation for the April 22 Pahalgam attack that killed 26 civilians.
India is a great country with a very good friend of mine at the top, and he's just done a fantastic job. And I think that Pakistan and India are going to live very nicely together.
And Pakistan's Defence Minister Khawaja Asif on Monday said that there are currently no ties between Islamabad and Kabul following the recent clash on the Pak-Afghan border over the weekend, the Dawn News has reported. While speaking on Pakistan's Geo News program, he said that hostilities between the two countries could resume at any time. The Defence Minister, when asked about the possibility of negotiations, said if Afghanistan wants negotiations while threatening Pakistan at the same time, then they should act on their threats and we'll negotiate after. According to Pakistan's military, 23 of its soldiers were killed, while the Taliban reported 9 fatalities on its side. Tensions between the neighbors have been mounting after Islamabad urged the Taliban to act against militants that it claims are launching attacks inside Pakistan from safe havens in Afghanistan. Moving on, European lawmakers and rights experts have renewed calls for the suspension of Pakistan's GSP Plus trade benefits, citing widespread rights violations and misuse of EU funds. At a UNHRC side event in Geneva, speakers warned that continued EU leniency could further embolden extremism. A report.
European lawmakers and rights experts urged the European Union and global institutions to suspend Pakistan's GSP Plus trade benefits, citing human rights violations and the misuse of EU funds. At a UNHRC site event in Geneva, they warned that Pakistan's expanding madrasa network, linked to radicalization, was being indirectly supported through EU assistance.
Yeah, that's a very serious issue because the madrasas have become from a few hundred to more than 30,000 in Pakistan, and it's still the top of the iceberg, I think, because we can see the big thing about it, but it's a serious issue. It also has a lot of consequences because you have, for example, leaders of the Taliban who have been recruited there, also extremists who do terror attacks in Europe, in the West, come from those schools, so it's a very serious concern for Pakistan, but also for Europe and for the West.
Experts said that Pakistan has repeatedly failed to meet its GSP Plus obligations, including on human rights and religious freedom. They stressed that the EU must take firm action by suspending benefits until Islamabad complies with international conventions.
This issue is very serious. It has been spotted already by many human rights defenders. Even twice, as you heard in the conference, the issue has been raised in the European Parliament. So there were two resolutions in 2014. Even before it started, there was a resolution to force Pakistan to comply with conventions because, people saw where this was going. And then in 2021, based on blasphemy cases, there was another call to suspend. We are not calling to stop it, as you heard in the conference. We are calling to suspend it until Pakistan meets criteria of GSP+. And this is a value-based mechanism. It's values, so Pakistan has to implement values in exchange for money, for trade benefits.
And the Judicial Inquiry Commission investigating the September 8 and 9 violence in Nepal has received about a dozen complaints so far. According to the Commission, 2 private companies have filed complaints detailing the massive losses, some from families of victims, demanding criminal action against those in power at the time, while other complaints were filed by the police, citing the burning of offices and looting of weapons, reported the Kathmandu Post. Formed on September 21 and led by former Judge Gauri Bahadur Karki, the Commission is preparing to record statements from police, starting from constables up to senior officials, and later plans to question political leaders such as former PM KP Sharma Oli and former Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak. The Commission has also sought reports from prisons, the Supreme Court, political parties, and business bodies on property damage. It will also review media reports and complaints from youth and student wings of major political parties as part of its ongoing probe. And Google on Tuesday announced a $15 billion investment over 5 years to build its largest AI data center outside the United States in India's Visakhapatnam. In an event in New Delhi, Google Cloud CEO said the facility, with the initial capacity of 1 gigawatt, aims to accelerate India's AI mission and strengthen cloud and data infrastructure. Google said the initiative would create significant economic and societal opportunities for India and the US, potentially generating over 180,000 jobs. This comes amid a tense India-US trade environment, including a 50% tariff on Indian goods, though Google emphasized its long-term commitment to India. Microsoft and Amazon have similarly invested heavily in data centers in India, reflecting the country's growing importance as a digital market.
Part of a global network of AI centers in 12 different countries, but it is, as I said, the largest one that we will be building anywhere in the world outside the US. In addition to that, we're also pleased that we will be making Visakhapatnam a global connectivity hub.
Data is the new oil, and data centers are the new refineries. At this juncture, I believe it's not about Andhra Pradesh playing an important role in India, but India playing an important role on the global landscape.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.